Helldivers 2 is my favorite game to come out this year. Yeah, the year isn't over yet, but I don't think it will be beaten. I went into this game with high expectations because I knew it was good, and it still managed to surpass them. Everybody's a big fan of spreading democracy and freedom. It's interesting to see this game thriving because PvE games have sucked for a pretty long time at this point. It's getting so bad that companies have kind of just given up on making PvE. Isn't that right, Overwatch 2? Obviously something special is going on here because Sony has really tried to gatekeep this game on their crappy console. I guess that's what you should expect when they release the third good game for the PS5. Helldivers 2 has that special sauce that most PvE games have been missing for a while now. Arcade type games are really hard to make work because it's not the 1980s anymore. You have to have tons of content to make every mission feel unique. Helldivers 2 does not pull any punches. This game will surprise you with just how much goes on. Every mission feels like you're being deployed on the battlefront of a war. There's lasers everywhere, bombs, nukes, explosions, enemies, I don't even know, man. This isn't no baby game either. When the game says 500 kilogram bomb, you best believe that's a 500 kilogram bomb. The chaotic and overwhelming nature of this game's combat is what keeps it interesting. It's hard to get a full grasp of what's going on, so you kind of just keep doing things and hoping they work. It's one of those games that causes your friend group to kind of just yell at each other instead of actually saying anything useful.
You're just trying to see my high value asset?
Okay. I think my favorite part about this game is just the enemies you go up against. There's two different enemy factions, the automatons and the terminids. Both of these factions house tons of different types of enemies, all with different interactions and different ways of killing you. The sheer variety of enemies you face is enough to keep this game interesting on its own. But stratagems are what really keep this game fun. Stratagems are your main abilities in the game. They're so strong that you can wipe an entire group of enemies without ever even seeing them. But they have one small drawback that makes them a little more balanced. As strong as they are against your enemies, they're equally as strong against you and your teammates. Team damage and self-damage is something you have to worry about, and when you're throwing down a massive bomb, it can be really easy to take out a few people along the way. The most surprising thing about Helldivers 2, though, is the fact that it's a live service game. Now, I understand that that word is scary, but Helldivers did the impossible, and actually has a good reason to be live service. Think of everybody playing as one big team fighting against all the bad guys. Anytime the player base finishes enough missions of a certain kind, they're rewarded with a currency for what is essentially a battle pass. I'm sorry I didn't put a jump scare warning for the word battle pass, but stick with me here. Not only is the very first battle pass free to all players and there's no premium version, but you can get enough currency from said free version to pay for the other ones. There's also no time limit on any battle pass, so that's always a welcome change from the norm. If you haven't bought Helldivers yet, you might be thinking, man, I'm gonna go get Helldivers right now. Slow your roll there, bucko, because Sony's kind of assassinating this game right now. This game is losing players, and it's not losing them slowly. Live service games need constant updates. That's kinda what live service means. Helldivers is kinda stale, and it's still worth hopping on if you haven't played it before with a new group of friends. But eventually, you're gonna get bored of hell diving. And while I praise the amount of variety and I still stand by that, people move on and play other games. At a time where this game was on a downward trend and not really seeing any major updates, Sony decided to do the account linking update. This game got review bombed like a lot. And most importantly, it kinda just leaves a sour taste in most players' mouths. And unfortunately, as of the making of this video, the effects of this are still being felt because there's regions that still can't play this game. And if we're talking pure player numbers here, why isn't Xbox allowed to play? This is a live service game. It pays for itself. I seriously don't know why Sony keeps trying to restrict this game. This game is better with more people, and yet for some reason, certain people just aren't allowed to play. Couple that with a few misses, at least in the eyes of the community, with some balancing changes, and a couple, generally nothing updates, Helldivers 2 could be in a better spot. But don't let let that drive you away from playing this game. I think it's worth checking out, especially if you have a good group to play it with. Hopefully, Sony doesn't screw this game up in the future and it can stay pretty good. And that's all for this video, so go watch one of my other ones. And, bye!
Here, I'm calling in a...
Dude! Oh, God! Oh, my God!
Bitch ass!
What the fuck? Oh, my... Bro!
Oh,
God!
Sometimes inaccurate.
It's also killed.
See, I told you.
What?
Yeah, you.
What? There's a mine?